This part you just have to see, okay? Let's turn it down slow so you can see better. Your dough ball will get to be a ball and start looking a little stringy. Just kind of almost past that. But it'll look a little stringy. And that's when you add your tablespoon of oil. I just added it. If you mix by hand, you can kind of tell a lot better. Eventually it'll start kind of slapping around in there. I've got it on speed 4, which is kind of high for a dough hook. You can hear it beginning to slap around. It starts getting a little wettish and sloppy. That's kind of actually how you want it, okay? It still will be a little wet and sticky, as you can see. It's pretty much stuck to the hook and stuck to the bowl. How do you get it out? Well, you could use this thing and then roll it out onto a floured up table and then flour your hands, and then you can work with the dough and kind of knead a little and then add a little flour and knead it a little. You really don't want to add too much flour, just enough to where you get it to where you can handle it without being stuck to everything. That's why it's important to flour your hands, flour the board, flour everything, because this dough is sticky because of the oil I just put in. And it's just, pizza dough is sticky, okay? I'll continue this in a minute because I'm going to roll it out of this bowl into another bowl that's already been sprayed with spray oil. That's kind of how this works, okay? And my tripod is at the other house where the bees are at. So I probably shouldn't be trying this, but what the heck, I'll do it. I don't care about looking like a fool. Somebody does want to know about this recipe and how it works. So far I haven't floured the table and all the stuff like I said I was going to do. Well, this big heavy mixer has to move. This is heavy. It's the good one. Complete solid metal. Everything on it's made out of metal. We lucked out and got a good one at a garage sale. A good KitchenAid mixer. Oldie but goodie. Somebody bought it for their mother, and their mother died before they could give it to him. What a sad story, but we ended up with it. Which is a glad story for us. It was an online garage sale even. We had to beat everybody else to the thing, which we did. It was kind of an exciting little adventure. Once we saw it and got there and figured out it was solid metal, because the new ones were plastic, kind of. It was like all over that. We won it. It's old school. Repairable probably. You could probably even get parts. I think I'm going to spray this thing with oil too, because everything's sticking. Try to just kind of roll it out without using my fingers at all, without flouring up my hands and everything. It's just too sticky. Pizza dough is like that. I'm sorry, but it's just sticky, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's kind of, it's just how it works. Sorry. Now, once you're there, you're kind of almost set. Now I got another bowl around here. This is the one I measured out my flour into earlier. I just put a bunch of flour in it and then used the measuring cups to pack it in because you want to pack your flour. I found out the last time I made this. Well, you want to leave some flour in your bowl, or at least have some handy, so that you can do what I'm about to do here. A little bit on here. Maybe, I don't want to get no flour on that oily bowl. It'll come out there easy, see? And it's oily, so I can handle it. See, this ain't so bad. I thought it was going to be so sticky that I couldn't touch it. Oiling up the oil makes it not stick, apparently. That's nice. I should have known this, but apparently I didn't. I'm used to flouring up my hands and stuff and getting everything where it won't stick. Because sometimes it comes out a little sticky. I guess that's when I forget to put the oil in. Yes, there are times I forget the olive oil. But you should end up with a little ball that looks like that. Tuck it in here into the ball that's been oiled. Might want to give it a little more oil because I kind of took it off when I did my thing there. Now I kind of need to get rid of this flour in this bowl. I will be using this flour later to roll out the pizza with the rolling pin. That's part of the whole process too. But we're just at the stage of where you let it rise the first time. In general, pizza, you rise the dough twice. You let it rise, you roll it out. It gets all poofed when you roll it. So you gotta let it rise again. And then you get nice bready pizza dough where it's not all just thin and flat. If you want it all thin and flat, forget about letting it rise and just cook it real quick. It'll be like a cracker on the bottom, kind of, but then there'll be some dough that doesn't quite cook. It'll be kind of yuck. Surely if you've made your own pizza and then the dough wasn't fully cooked, you was wondering why. Well, it was probably because you put too much stuff on it, for one. And two, the dough wasn't ready to be cooked. You actually gotta make your dough, let it rise, like I'm gonna do. Okay? Let your dough rise. Then you'll get it on this table, cut it in half, and then take half and make the pizza. We're going to do this later, so you'll see. It's not all mysterious. It'll be kind of fun to show it off. I'm sorry I don't have my tripod, or else this would be much better. I feel bad about that. Maybe I'll go get the thing. It's over at my house, other house, the bees, where the bees are at. Eventually I'll be using this kind of thing and get the dough in a rolling pin and roll it out and then fold it and put it on here on this wooden one. With cornmeal. That thing's full of cornmeal and we use it like a salt shaker and shake it on there good. Because the dough is a little sticky. It keeps it from sticking. You put that on there, build your pizza. Well, let's not get too far ahead here. We'll just roll out the pizza round, kind of fold it. Before you fold it, flour it up a little, and fold it into fourths, and then take it over here and then unfold it. And then take this bowl, because the pizza will be about that size. Let's kind of look. About that size, see. I've made enough of them where I roll it out about that size, and then I use that bowl to cover it and let it rise again. That's the whole point here. Just gotta let the dough rise twice. If you let it rise twice, which takes a long time, you get really good pizza. That's why there's I don't know if it's even open anymore, but there was a pizza parlor in Chicago that you had to call ahead to get pizza, because they would start doing what I just described. They'd have the dough already made, but it takes like 45 minutes to roll it out, get it on the peel and everything, and then finally build your pizza. So they would insist that you called ahead, like 45 minutes to an hour ahead, to get a pizza. Boy, that must have been frustrating for their customers, but that's just how it worked with that place. You got an actual fresh pizza, see. If you're getting it from Domino's or whatever, it's not like that at all. It's close, but no cigar. These people were actually fresh dough, fresh everything, kind of like what we're doing here. See? They'd make their dough at around a certain time of day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, and then wait for the orders to come in, and then use that dough to fill the orders. And even if you're using that fresh dough, it takes 45 minutes to roll out a pizza and have it rise again. They weren't just gonna do it mass production style and then have a bunch of them in a cooler sitting there, because I worked at Shakey's and that's how it was done. They made dough once a day, and then make enough dough for like however many pizzas they thought they was gonna sell. There was no waste hardly. And the guy that was the pizza dough maker would roll out the dough and make it all dough, and then it'd get made into little certain size portions where each one was like a small or a medium or a large. And then they'd go into bus tubs. And the bus tubs would sit in the walk-in cooler and rise. That was the first time. Then he would get those and take them back to the little dough room and roll them out into pizzas. And then at that point, they were put onto pizza pans, and each one kept separately and then delivered to a cooler that was under where I built the pizzas. See, I was the pizza maker. I wasn't allowed to touch the dough making machine because I was not 18. See, I was a high school kid making pizzas. But I learned quite a bit about how it worked because my friend was the pizza maker. He was a few years older than me, and we got to be good friends. And also the guy that worked in the back that did the fryer. I wasn't old enough to do that either, but my friend was. And you know what? I still know that guy, and we're still friends to this day. From way back at Shakey's Pizza Parlor in the 1970s. A lifelong friendship from at work. We're not close. I don't see him often, but I know where he works, and I can go find him today if I wanted to. So yeah, pizza dough is a little bit, it takes time. If you want to rush it, you can, but it won't be the same. That's the point of all the babble here. Sorry, I kind of got carried away. I tend to do that. But you let your dough rise once, then you portion it. Or you could portion it now and then let each portion rise separately, which is what they did at Shakey's. They made a big giant. They had a huge KitchenAid mixer to make the dough. And it pretty much came pre-mixed in packages where all he did was just add the water, I think. I don't remember, but it seemed like it was awful simple. And it was just way too easy. A lot of the stuff at Shakey's was like that. All their little mixes and spices and everything came in bags to where you didn't know what was in it. Kind of just said what it was. Generic typing on the side of a bag would be like fried chicken breading or whatever. But it was very good. I'm showing where I kind of piled everything away so where I could cook. Oh well, stuff happens. I had to move a couple things. What's in here? A couple peaches that we wrapped up so they'd ripen. Maybe probably today they'll be ready to eat. If you wrap them up in a piece of paper like that, they'll ripen. I don't know what else to say about this dough other than it's going to take a couple hours for it to rise here. And at that point, it's 12:30 right now. I'm going to wait until, say, 3:30 or maybe 4. And then I'll cut my little portions, roll out a pizza dough on there, and then set it here, and then let it rise until my grandson shows up. Then we'll build a pizza, and maybe I can get my wife to hold the camera while we make the video of us building a pizza. It'll be fun, and he'll enjoy it too. He's a little show off, just like his grandpa. Well, he's cuter. He's pretty cool. Have a great day. God bless you. Thanks for watching. I'm making pizza dough and sharing with my friends online so they can do it too, and actually get most of the details right, I hope. It's really good if you do it right. One of the things I haven't even shown is the pizza stone. That's the pizza stone. When we get to it's going to be 45 minutes to rise part. About then is probably when you might think about starting the oven. If you waited until a half hour before you built it, might work, but that's cutting it a little close. So let's just say when you finally get your pizza rolled out and setting on the peel, and you're waiting for it to rise, and then you're going to build your pizza, that's when you turn the oven on. I'm just kind of put it on broil or 550. I usually stick it on 550, okay? That's about as high as I would need it. And at that point, you got the stone in, and the oven's heating. The heat coming up from out of here would help everything rise at that point, which is kind of what you're waiting on. So I'll usually set my peel with the pizza on it somewhere around there, so that some of the heat coming off the oven will help it rise. Then finally we'll build the pizza. It's kind of complicated, that's why I'm going into such detail to share it. If you want to make really good pizza, all these little details matter. And you'll see. Try it your own way if you want, but this way is pretty much how a professional does it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.